Hi everyone, welcome back to the React Zero to Hero series. I'm thrilled to have you are. This is the homemade coder. In our previous lesson, you have learned the fundamentals, why React is amazing, how to set up your project with White, and how to build reusable component using JSX. Most importantly, you have mastered props, how to pass data down from a parent a child component, making your UI dynamic. But here's a challenge. What if a component needs to manage its own data that change over time, like a counter that increments when you click a button, or a toggle that shows and hides content? This data isn't coming from a parent. It's internal and it changes. This is the important point. Internal and it changes. This, my friends, is the job of state in React. Today we are diving deep into React state and the useState hook. Get ready to make your application truly interactive and responsive to user actions. Okay, what is state? So, what exactly is state? In React, state refers to data that is managed within a component and can change over time. Think of it like a component's personal memory. It holds information that the component needs to remember and react to. When a component's state change, React automatically re-renders that component and updates the UI to reflect the new state. This is a so important function. This is the key difference between props and state. Okay. Props are like arguments passed to a function. They are generally read-only and came from the parent. State is like a function's internal variables. It is managed internally by the components itself and can be updated by the component. State allows our component to become interactive. Without it, our UIs would be static and unresponsive. What is useState hook? In functional components, which we use throughout this series, we manage state using a special function called a hook. Specially, we use the useState hook. Let's create a very simple counter component to demonstrate this. Okay, first we need to import useState. Okay, I'm deleting everything and import useState from React. Then declare a state variable named count and its setter function setCount. Okay, const count set equally use state 0. Then inside our counter function, we call useState 0. This function does two things. It declares a state variable, which we are calling count. Its initial value is 0. The value we passed into set useState, it gives us a setter function which we are calling setCount. We must use this function to update our count variable. We'll see why in a moment. The array destruction const count setCount is a common JavaScript pattern to easily get these two values. Finally, we display the count in our JSX, just like any other JavaScript variable using curly brackets. Now that we can play our counts, how do we actually change it when a user clicks the increment button? Okay. Adding counter count. And adding a button. Okay. Okay, there are false. What's the problem? We don't see. Okay, console. useState is not a function. Turn value is not mutable. Okay, we have a problem in here. useState. Okay. We don't add a curly brackets. Now, first, I'll create a simple increment function. Inside this function, instead of count equal count plus 1, which is a big no-no in React. I'll explain why in a second. We call setCount count plus 0. Okay, const increment function okay set count plus 1. We pass the function install, not the result of calling. Now when you click, then we attach this increment function. We call the set increment function. Then we attach this increment function to our button's onClick event. Notice again the curly brackets onClick increment. We call the function. We pass the function itself, not the result of calling it. Now, when you click the button, setCount tells React, hey, the count has changed. React then re-renders the counter component and the UI updates to show the new value. Okay, you see all of the function re-render component and we see number is changed. This is end of our lesson. The other lesson I want to a new example toggle component. State is very important our React. That's why I want to learn all of everything about React. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the React state, please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel for more React tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.